The arguments that you've been seeing currently with Gabby happened over a year ago. They happened just before I stopped blogging. I don't know if you remember, there was a great big silence, and that basically was a combination of many, many things, but that all occurred shortly after the footage that you're seeing now. In other words, there were troubles and the whole thing was put on hold. A lot of you have obviously given me comments advising that we should take some time out, and I just want to sort of just put that in context so that people realise that what they're seeing isn't precisely what's happened now. So there's a huge delay. That leads right to the next question. Well, where am I now? Because obviously I could skip to now and show you what's been happening recently, but the problem is there's so much interesting story that's happened between then and now that I feel like I'd be doing a misjustice if I just suddenly go, oh, well, this is what's happening now and this is where I am, and did I finish filming, didn't I finish filming, and start giving you that information, then, well, some of the fun that's coming in the story in the blogs, will be less fun because you'll know the answers to it. So I don't really know whether I want to answer some of those questions yet. So I'm going to take your advice on that, really, because I don't know. So if you want some answers to those questions, really, then I'm happy to give them to you. If you would rather actually find out as part of this bigger narrative of the blogs, then by all means do so. One of the things that has happened that's different to how the blogs were was that before, when I was posting blogs, they were very, very current. I didn't know necessarily what the next blog was going to be or what the next two blogs were going to be. It might be that I know the next one, but not the one afterwards. So as a result, things had a certain immediacy to them. However, now I'm editing the blogs knowing what the next 15 blogs are. So as a result, as an editor, of course, you start to think much more in the bigger picture of narrative. You start to think about, well, if I put this information in now, then it'll make sense of something coming up next. Alternatively, I might think, well, this isn't really interesting enough to put in. So one of the reasons I've actually been putting in so much of my argument with Gabby is because I know that a lot of my attitude and emotions and events that take place that I know are coming up because it's already filmed won't make so much sense to you if you haven't seen what's happened before that, i.e. these arguments with Gabby. I could have cut the arguments with Gabby right down. I could have just made, well, let's just have two blogs of arguments and keep going. But then again, the problem is that doesn't tell the true story either. Because obviously you've been watching Gabby and I for a great big period of time, and then suddenly you just get two blogs, which will last 2 weeks or 4 weeks at the moment, of fights, and then then suddenly we might be reacting to each other quite badly. You'll think, well, where did that just come from? So it doesn't give you a full sense of like the sheer weight of the trouble we went through. So I was kind of very conscious that I needed to sort of portray that properly so that it would make sense of what's to come. And Gabby and I know for a fact that we came through all of these troubles that you're seeing in these blogs. And as a result, I know that we learnt from it. I could cut it all down and cut it out, but then, I don't know, in some ways I find it interesting that, that there is something out there that's part of this series that, unexpected, to say the least, that actually that just shows it as it is, as opposed to how we want it to seem. So I think that was quite important to me. So anyway, so that's enough of my rambling. Basically, it was decided that I would go back to Guildford and just start filming again, and that Gabby and I needed some time out. So Gabby stayed back in London. She did some work, and I basically go to Guildford. So the next vlog you're going to see is me filming again, and let's try and get the show back on the road and away from all of the negativity that seems to be boiling up in them. So enjoy.